As I sit in my own basement of despair amongst these four walls, at times I can barely hear the players play the game, and it's so hard for them to deal with the fact that they have glued their own brains to the wall with a prick stick, a manuscript and a pocket.
Hi there, it's Callum from Slàinte Sounds. Thank you very much for checking out our first blog. Today it's a video interview with my good friend Cameron Roxburgh, who's a singer and songwriter from Stirling. Cameron's quite interesting because he's been a carer for most of his adult life, even through studying his degree and working on his music. He's always been a carer, so I thought I'd get him on for an interview. If you like this blog, check out the website for more. They're coming out the first Wednesday of every month. I've known Cameron for about 15 years, and for the last 11 years we've been playing music together. So check it out, and thank you for watching.
The only thing that these four walls can hear, and the players that played the game.
So Cameron, I just wanted to ask you firstly about your music and how you describe the sort of music you do, and also the kind of approach you have to writing and performing.
Okay. I think the kind of music I play is quite a funny one to try and describe, you know, kind of singer-songwritery, percussive, acoustic Scottish goodness, I think. The approach to writing, it's different every time, I think, Callum. So I could say write a guitar bit and then add the lyrics on top of that, or sometimes I have lyrics and then guitar parts come after it. I think each song doesn't always necessarily have the same approach, because hell, I don't even know how I'm going to approach some of these songs sometimes, you know. But it keeps it interesting, keeps me on my toes.
Good. And how did you get into playing music and writing? And so it's like, what's your journey been?
Quite an interesting one. Started off with the old ukulele, as you might well know yourself or remember.
Yeah.
Got a guitar, and then just started whapping out the tunes, I suppose.
Yeah. And did you have any sort of like? Have you had any, not necessarily formal lessons or anything, but have you had any sort of, have you been to workshops or like songwriting workshops or guitar workshops or anything like that that's kind of helped you along the way?
Yeah, actually, I can't remember the name of it, but there was a workshop in Doon every Friday.
All right.
God, I don't know how young I was, but every Friday in Doon there was a workshop run by Mark Lough and Stuart Kidd. Formerly known as the Wellgreen, I suppose, and I would just go to that, and it was fun, you know. They really put me in a certain direction from such a young age, you know, with regards to writing songs, even if it was like, do you know what I mean? What would I have been, 13, 14 or something? So yeah, that was kind of a good workshop for being that age.
Yeah.
And the Tolbooth as well have had numerous amounts of workshops and classes that I've attended over the last few years. So yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, like, the Tolbooth is our kind of like local venue where we've spent a lot of time, and the people that work there have been really good to us in a variety of different ways, not just in not just in giving us performances, but giving us sort of tools to try and push our music out there and things like that. I mean, you'll see we've got a few clips in there from the Tolbooth.
Tolbooth projections.
And is there any sort of do you have like artists or a style of music that you like listening to that gives you a lot of inspiration? Like, is there any artist that you'd recommend that kind of you've used as inspiration, or you like to aspire to be like?
I don't really know. I would say yes, but I don't really know where to start. I think of late I've been thinking a lot about not necessarily artists or musicians, but people in general who have, you know, inspired me to do what I'm currently doing. And I'll be pretty grateful and thankful for them, and I always will be, you know, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have made me want to do what I'm doing. but I've taken a lot of inspiration of late from local kind of artists as well, you know. Anything from just like little Scottish bands or like hip hop or you know, it's the scene we're in, so might as well join it.
So in terms of your sort of the other side of you from music, you're obviously you work as a care assistant in a care home.
I do, yes.
And what made you want to get into that, or did you plan on getting into it? I know you've been a carer now for quite some time, and you've always seemed to have it in the background of your music. Like
Yeah,
whenever we spoke about it, you've always seemed to work as a carer, give or take a couple of months here and there. But what made you get into that? Is there a reason? Anybody in particular, or anything in particular?
I did not plan on being a carer, you know. I was broke and I didn't have a job. So Ken, my gran used to be a carer, so maybe it's in my genes, so to speak, somehow, for some reason. But I just jumped on board, seen an application, living in Perth at the time, and thought might as well try this out, and I did, and I got the job pretty much there and then. But now being back home, I'm lucky to have that care experience from Perth and bring it and apply it to Calendar. But it's been tough of late, you know, with all this
with COVID.
literal pandemic, man. Yeah, I've seen it firsthand, like many others, whether it be care homes or NHS staff or whatever. It's tough.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been tough hearing about it as well from you. So I think it's really respectful what you're doing. I think it's obviously helpful for the families and the people who are in the home as well.
Yeah, man.
So what sort of roles do you have? I mean, you don't get too far into the sort of like the gruesome side of it, but like, you know, what's your sort of general day to
work?
Yeah, like your general day to day sort of roles. What are you doing mostly?
Eating bacon rolls.
That's
a good one. Yeah, if I'm lucky, I'll have a wee bacon or bacon. What I'd really like to do is get a bit of bacon and get a tatty scone round it and put that in a roll.
all right.
That's good.
And have you got like what are your roles within being a carer? So like you got sort of have you got your own set of jobs every day, or do you kind of just like help everyone?
No, all jokes aside, I thought that was quite funny. But no, every day's totally different. Kind of find myself, it's not really a role, but when I'm doing a job, I'm always thinking about what the next job is going to be. Do you know what I mean? You could say, oh, care assistant Cam, but there's so many things to do within that care assistant title or role in itself, I suppose. You know, I'm looking after people, I'm assisting people with meals, I'm washing and changing folk, I'm getting people up in the morning. It's quite tricky, but I think I balance it quite well, you know. But every day is a school day. Do you know what I mean? Literally every day is a school day. There's not one day that's the same. So probably based on that, my roles change from day to day. You know, I don't know. That's probably the best answer.
Maybe I should go to my bed at 11:05, but wishing I was partially dead, as in my body would be resting. My weary bones are draped in white sheets and silhouettes of coffee granules and cigarettes, but less of the impending unnerving fear. But I could hardly see, my dear, I wish other people were just as sincere as me.
So I know at some point you were doing activities with the residents.
Yes.
And I was wondering if like you being a musician and your songwriting and stuff like that has played a role in that. Do you get a chance to play some music with the residents? Do they like it?
I did once, and only once, because man, it was a tough crowd. Like it was a tough crowd. I still don't know how to play "Show Me the Way to Go Home," but yeah, after that I was tired and wanted to go to bed.
And the kind of the opposite side of that, do you think that being a carer or having something else going on has played a role in how you write music and create music? Do you find it's like a sort of form of inspiration or?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah, no, yeah, nay. Some days when I'm working my ass off, I have like just a few lyrics will like come to mind, or I'll be today, and I'll like write it down on a napkin or something and take it home, and then like I write it down to remember it like there and then, not to forget about it or remember it later on. And that usually works. I find writing a lot in blue ink helps me remember
All right, that's interesting.
easier. I don't know why. It's just what's been happening. But yeah, I'll usually have a wee today, a wee lyric or something will come into my head, and then I'll go home and just try and put it to use.
Yeah, like
But it's
flesh
not
it
every
out a
day.
bit. Yeah.
It's not every day.
And so looking now, I mean, without getting too far into the sort of how the pandemic has changed things, but I know that like for musicians, it's the pandemic's played a big part in their life. Like we not have so many things to do, like performances are restricted and things like that. So what I was wondering is that has the pandemic been like better for you, do you think, or do you think it's like, is it created a chance to do more writing? Have you felt more motivated, those sort of things?
I think it's given me a chance to write more, and whether it be songs or poems or even practice the guitar more. I still work my X amount of days a week, and I come home and I eat and I bath and I fall asleep. And then on my days off, there is usually a chance to do that. We can't go anywhere, can't go to the pubs, can't go really to any shops. Do you know what I mean? Think about it. Everything has been restricted, so there is only so much I can do. But I like to think that I've been applying my time more towards writing and trying to practice more and just generally hone my craft a bit more than I would if there wasn't a pandemic,
Yeah. And so what, like leading on from that, what have you been up to in terms of music during the pandemic?
Well, the few gigs we had were obviously cancelled this year. I'm sure you know that yourself.
Yeah.
Writing away, writing tunes, been recording an album, as you're definitely well aware.
Yeah.
With yourself, that's probably, I don't know what you think about that, but it's been quite a struggle, just in terms with the passing of the kit.
Yeah.
And me potentially having the COVID. It's not really worth the risk, is it, at the minute, man?
Yeah, I found it's been quite difficult to work on stuff when we don't have, like, just making use of the technology that we have and picking up like small bits of gear we can, like microphones and things, to try and help that. And we've had to keep moving our deadlines and stuff just because it's not worked out. Just
I know, it's like
every week's a new week.
2 steps back, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Sometimes.
But yeah, so now that we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel a wee bit, with the restrictions starting to change a lot, and we're coming up to like Christmas time and everything. What's your plans for the future?
I don't know. I've not really thought about it. Okay, I'm just trying to do what I think a lot of people would be doing, and just take things one day at a time. We don't know where we're going to end up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't have a clue. So I've not really thought.
Have you got any ambitions for 2021? Like, is there anything you'd like to do? Any sort of performances you'd like to play at? Or we've obviously got the album's going to come out at some point in 2021.
Yeah.
Just not sure when yet, but that's
correct.
Is that the basis for your plans?
I think for me, for us to work on this record and to get it out, I think is the end goal. Like you say, don't know when it's going to be out, but we'll get it out. I'll be buzzing for that day we get that out, man.
Yeah.
Gee whiz. I think we'll be lucky just to play gigs again, and to just not have to be 2 meters apart and have a drink with mates and just have a laugh, man. Do you know what I mean? Just actually have a laugh, excuse my French. I think just live a bit more. We're still living, but it's not the same, is it?
I think for me, I think I'll feel more appreciative of the performances we can do.
Yeah.
You know,
Aye.
when we get back to gigging, I think I'll feel that it's got its sort of special vibe back, and so like every performance that we, and not saying that, you know, you can take things for granted, but it's when you do stuff a lot, you start to lose touch of what it's actually, why it's important to you. And so I think that for me, I'll be more appreciative of it. Do you think that that's something that you'll have as well? Do you think that'll apply
Yeah,
for you?
man. Aye, definitely. Because it is easy to take things kind of for granted now. Do you know what I mean? And I think we've all done it. It's so easy to do. And we're all so quick to judge. So I think a lot of things will change. In my mind, anyway, after this.
And do you think you'll always work in the care home, or do you think you'll always have some other sort of job on the side?
I
Like,
don't
not
know.
necessarily for financial support, but more for, do you think it benefits you to have that sort of other side of the coin?
Yes, but then at the same time, I would like to have two coins. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I was speaking with my cousin Craig recently. I don't know if I'll always work in a care home. It's nice at the minute, you know. It's rewarding, and can you have some really crappy days, but 9 times out of 10, I do leave with a weird smile on my face. You know, feels good. And of late, I've not really been giving a crap about myself. It's just caring for other people is the thing, man, because they need it. They need it more than I need it. But I don't know. Someday I'd like somebody to care for me, so maybe I won't be in the care role forever. We'll wait and see. Wait and see.
And then just some final thoughts, and things like where can people find your music, and how's best to follow your journey?
Probably on Instagram at the minute. You know, we do have a Facebook page, but I've not really been putting anything on it just because of, I don't know, this year, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think my Instagram, I think it's my first and last name smidged together. So it'll be Cameronroxburgh. I don't know.
I always think it's like Cameronroxburgh.
Cameronroxburgh. Cameroxburgh.
I'll put it down below.
Music wise, we've got a Bandcamp which has got 3 EPs on it, and a Soundcloud which is a bit of a guddle. But
like Soundcloud's kind of like a place for ideas, I think, more than anything.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I use it a lot for ideas and just stick things up in private so that it's there for me.
It's there for you. Well, great. Is there anything else you want to add? Any like words of wisdom or anything you'd like to say to people who are tuning in?
No real words of wisdom. No, just keep on keeping on.
Aye.
There's nothing else for it, is it?
No, I agree.
Nice
well,
one.
Thank you very much for taking the time to have the
Always a pleasure, never a chore, Callum.
I know. We're actually not even that far apart. We're like probably like less than a mile away from each other, but just
just up the road.
Just because of the restrictions, we can't do this any other way.
Aye, you've got a big green screen behind you with that big document on it.
Aye.
Big salon.
It's not actually a green screen. It's just
no, I know.
But I'll put out links to everything in description boxes and stuff. And
groovy.
Well, thank you very much.
No bother. Hopefully see you soon.
Yep.
Hopefully see you soon. Lovely. Thank you.